Hello everybody, welcome into another lesson. So today we are going to solve logistics growth equations. So last lesson you got to see what the graph of logistic growth functions looks like. Now you're going to see how to solve logistics growth equations. So here you have 8 over 1 plus 3e to the negative x equals 5. Well, we definitely got to solve for x, but in this case, you can always think of it like a proportion, right? Because the right side is 5 over 1. So how you can solve this is cross multiply. You'll get 5 times 1 plus 3e to the negative x would equal 8. Which now we can divide both sides by 5. You'll get 1 plus 3e to the negative x would equal 8/5. And then let's get 3e to the negative x by itself. You would end up getting 3e to the negative x equals 3/5. And then we'll get e to the negative x by itself. So divide both sides by 3. You'll get e to the negative x equals 1/5. And then, of course, we want to get x by itself. We want to get rid of the e. So we got to take the logarithm of both sides. ln of e to the negative x would equal the ln of 1/5. So the left side, you have a power rule. Negative x times the ln of e equals the natural log of 1/5. Natural log of e is 1, so that would give you negative x equals the natural log of 1/5. So then you would end up getting x equals negative of the natural log of 1/5. And that would be your answer. X would equal negative of the natural log of 1/5. So the good news is, the good news is in your denominator you have an exponential function. There's no danger of worrying about getting a denominator of 0 because you would have to get a value of -1 from 3e to the negative x, and you can't get 0 or negative values with exponential functions. So we don't have to worry about the domain in that sense. Now the bad news is these are always done solving natural logs. So you have to pull out the logarithm tricks, but they aren't too terrible to solve. And I do got more. All right. We have 10 all over 1 plus 2e to the negative 4x equals 9. So we have 10 over 1 plus 2e to the negative 4x equals 9. Think of this as a proportion again. On the right side, you have 9 over 1. So now you just cross multiply. You'll have 9 times 1 plus 2e to the negative 4x would equal 10. Now divide both sides by 9, you get 1 plus 2e to the negative 4x would equal 10/9. Now get that 2e to the negative 4x by itself. You would end up getting 1/9 on the right hand side. Now divide both sides by 2, you get e to the negative 4x would equal 1/18. And then, of course, we got to pull out the logarithm trick in order to solve for the x. So take the ln of e to the negative 4x. That, of course, would equal the natural log of 1/18. which on the left side you have a power rule, so this will turn into negative 4x times the natural log of e would equal the natural log of 1/18. Natural log of e is 1, so this would be negative 4x equals the natural log of 1/18. So that means x would equal negative of the natural log of 1/18 divided by 4. So there is your value of x that you're looking for. X equals negative of the natural log of 1/18 divided by 4. All right. We have 3 over 1 plus 18e to the negative x equals 1. 3 over 1 plus 18e to the negative x equals 1. So this would literally turn into 1 plus 18e to the negative x equals 3, which would turn into 18e to the negative x equals 2, which would end up giving you e to the negative x would equal 1/9. So now we got to pull out the natural log tricks. So the natural log of e to the negative x equals the natural log of 1/9. So the left side you have a power rule. The negative x times the natural log of e equals the natural log of 1/9. Well, what is the natural log of e? That's just 1, so you'll get negative x equals the natural log of 1/9, which would end up giving you that x equals negative of the natural log of 1/9. So there would be your answer. X equals negative of the natural log of 1/9. I got 6 more. Okay, so we have 28 divided by 1 plus 13e to the negative 2x equals 20. So we have 28 over 1 plus 13e to the negative 2x equals 20. Well, we'll cross multiply, so you'll get 20 times 1 plus 13 e to the negative 2x would equal 28. Divide both sides by 20, you'll get 1 plus 13 e to the negative 2x would equal 28 over 20, which would be 7/5. Alright, so you'll have that. Now get that 13e to the negative 2x by itself. So 13e to the negative 2x would equal 2/5. Now divide both sides by 13, you'll get e to the negative 2x would equal 2 over 65. So now we got to solve for x. Let's pull out the logarithms, the natural log. So we have the natural log of e to the negative 2x would equal the natural log of 2/65. which on the left side you have a power rule, so this will turn into negative 2x times the natural log of e would equal the natural log of 2/65. Well, natural log of e is 1, so you'll just get negative 2x equals the natural log of 2/65. Now solve for x, you'll end up getting x equals negative of the natural log of 2/65 divided by 2. So there's your answer for x. X would equal negative of the natural log of 2/65 divided by 2. That was quite a mess, wasn't it? Alright, I've got 5 more. We have 82 over 1 plus 50 e to the negative x equals 68. So 82 divided by 1 plus 50 e to the negative x equals 68. So let's cross multiply. You would end up getting 68 times 1 plus 50 e to the negative x would equal 82. Now divide both sides by 68. You'll end up getting, of course, 1 plus 50 e to the negative x equals 82 divided by 68, which would be 41 over 34. Alright, so now let's get that 50 e to the negative x by itself. So subtract 1 from both sides. Well, that's going to end up giving you 7/34 on the right-hand side. So 50 e to the negative x equals 7/34. Now we got to divide both sides by 50, so e to the negative x would equal 7 over, what the heck is 34 times 50? It's not going to be a good number, I can tell you that. Over 1700. But I wonder, does 1700 divide by 7 at all? Is there a way to simplify this? Nope. So you literally get e to the negative x equals 7 over 1700. Alright, so now we got to pull out the natural log to solve for x. So the natural log of e to the negative x equals the natural log of 7 over 1700. On the left side, you have a power rule, so you'll get negative x times the natural log of e equals the natural log of 7 over 1700. Natural log of e is 1. Divide both sides by negative 1. You'll get x equals negative of the natural log of 7 over 1700. And that would be your answer. X would equal negative of the natural log of 7 over 1700. I have 4 more. All right. We have 36 divided by 1 plus 7e to the negative 10x equals 30. So I have 36 over 1 plus 7e to the negative 10x equals 30. So let's cross multiply here. You'll get 30 times 1 plus 7e to the negative 10x would have to equal 36. All right, so let's divide both sides by 30. You'll get 1 plus 7e to the negative 10x would equal 36 divided by 30, which is 6 over 5. And then subtract 1 from both sides, so you'll get 7e to the negative 10x would equal 1/5. Now we just divide both sides by 7, so you get e to the negative 10x would equal 1/35. Now we need to pull out the natural log, so to solve for that x, so the natural log of e to the negative 10x would equal the natural log of 1/35. Well, the left side you have a power rule, so then you'll end up having negative 10x times the natural log of e equals the natural log of 1/35. Well, natural log of e is 1, so we can solve for x by dividing both sides by 10. Negative 10 rather, so x would equal negative of the natural log of 1/35 divided by 10. And there's your solution. X would equal negative of the natural log of 1/35 divided by 10. All right, 3 more. So we have 41 all over 1 plus 14.9 e to the negative 6x equals 7. So 41 all over 1 plus 14.9 e to the negative 6x equals 7. Well, let's cross multiply. You'll end up getting, of course, 7 times 1 plus 14.9 e to the negative 6x. That would have to equal 41. So divide both sides by 7, you get 1 plus 14.9 e to the negative x would have to equal 41/7. Now just subtract 1 from both sides, so you'll get 14.9 e to the negative 6x would have to equal 34/7. Now we just got to divide both sides by 14.9. So you'll get e to the negative 6x would equal 34 all over, what is 7 times 14.9? Not going to be a good number, I can tell you that. $104.3. So e to the negative 6x would equal 34 over 104.3. Now let's pull out the natural log trick on both sides. Natural log of e to the negative 6x would equal the natural log of 34 over 104.3. Well, the left side you have a power rule, so this will turn into negative 6x times the ln of e equals the ln of 34 all over 104.3. So ln of e is 1. Just divide both sides by -6. You could solve for x. So x would equal negative of the natural log of 34 over 104.3. All that divided by 6. And there is your solution. X equals negative of the natural log of 34 over 104.3 divided by 6. About 2 more. All right. 9 all over 1 plus 5e to the negative 0.2x equals 3/4. So 9 over 1 plus 5e to the negative 0.2x equals 3/4. So we'll cross multiply. You'll get 3 times 1 plus 5e to the negative 0.2x would equal 36. Now divide both sides by 3. You get 1 plus 5e to the negative 0.2x would equal 12. So then this will turn into 5e to the negative 0.2x would equal 11. So then you'll have e to the negative 0.2x would have to equal 11/5. Now we just pull out the natural log trick. So the natural log of e to the negative 0.2x equals the natural log of 11/5. And on the left side you have a power rule, so you'll take negative 0.2x times the natural log of e. That'll equal the natural log of 11/5. Now natural log of e is just 1, so divide both sides by negative 0.2. You get that x equals negative of the natural log of 11/5 divided by 0.2. And that would be your exact answer. X equals negative of the natural log of 11/5 divided by 0.2. I should just have one more, then we're done. Alright, so we have 40 over 1 plus 2.5e to the negative 0.4x is equal to 6.4. So 40 over 1 plus 2.5e to the negative 0.4x equals 6.4. So we'll cross multiply. You would end up getting 6.4 times 1 plus 2.5e to the negative 0.4x would equal 40. Now divide both sides by 6.4. You'll get 1 plus 2.5e to the negative 0.4x would equal 40 divided by 6.4. which is the same as 400 over 64, which both divide by 16, you would actually get 25 over 4. This really would turn into 25 over 4, is what it would simplify into, 25 over 4. Now let's subtract 1 from both sides, so you get 2.5 e to the negative 0.4x would equal 21/4. Now divide both sides by 2.5, you get e equals negative 0.4x would equal 21/10. So e to the negative 0.4x equals 21/10. So now let's do the natural log of both sides. Natural log of e to the negative 0.4x equals the natural log of 21/10. Well, on the left side you have a power rule, so this will turn into negative 0.4x times the ln of e equals the natural log of 21/10. Natural log of e is 1. Just divide both sides by negative 0.4. You get that x equals negative of the natural log of 21/10 divided by 0.4. So x would equal negative of the natural log of 21/10 divided by 0.4. So that is how you solve logistics growth equations. So that's it for the logarithmic function unit altogether. Next lesson, we're going to start a brand new unit on rational functions, which the next lesson in particular will be very easy. It's going to be about inverse variation and joint variation. Earlier in the course and in previous courses, we talked about direct variation, like y varies directly as x. Now we'll get into stuff like y varies inversely as x, or y varies jointly as x and z, and so on. So I hope everyone has a great day. Take care.